Lampros, the owner of Gunther's Gourmet Groceries, is going to join Xavier and I shortly. Xavier's back this week.
I'm back this week, yes.
Which is always fun.
And excited because I get to taste good stuff.
Exactly.
There
You always pick the best ones.
Isn't that fun
it's
how
amazing
that
how you always show up on the show on the days when there might be
There's
some
eating or drinking.
Exactly. There might be some eating or drinking going on. It's always interesting to me how that happens to.
Someday I'll give you the secret how that works.
Someday you'll tell me why that is, how you managed to pull that one off. And then later on in the show, Xavier and I will share some local news, some grants that are coming down the pipeline for small business owners. A small women and minority certification class to get your SWAM certification if you're a small business. We'll tell you that is upcoming for the Small Business Development Center here in Central Virginia. Also a Leaders Lab program at the Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. And then, of course, Secure Act 2, we'll be talking a little later in the show on just some ways that coming down the pipeline from Congress may affect your retirement savings. So some things to keep in mind that Xavier and I will be going through and talking about today. So a lot in store for you.
I guess when you get to my age, retirement savings is really critical. Right? When you're like 20, it's like, what was he talking about that for?
Well, what's the point? What am I going to do? Eat Chef Boyardee so that I can live good in situation?
There you are. Great idea. I never thought of that. Wait a minute.
You're like, go for it. Come see me and let's do that. So a lot in store on a very warm morning.
It is, isn't it?
In Charlottesville, Virginia. Is it still appropriate to tell
summer
people? Is it still appropriate to suggest that people grab their café con leche? Is it too hot?
Sure, it could be a cold café con leche.
It's true, an iced café con leche.
Just put a little extra sugar and you're good to go.
Exactly. Pop down to Guajiros and say, I want my café con leche
iced.
Con hielo.
Con hielo.
Con hielo.
That's very good.
A way to say it in Spanish. Is that how you say it?
Absolutely, con hielo. Absolutely. Ice is hielo. That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was like al fresco or something.
No.
Like, that you would say that it was iced without saying con hielo.
Yeah. It's spelled a little different than yellow. It's
but it sounds just like it. Not spelled like the word yellow in English.
But now you know.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Xavier. We're very excited to have you joining us this morning on a beautiful morning here in Charlottesville, Virginia.
You didn't say that before. You said it was hot morning.
It's hot and beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay.
I mean,
both things to make sure we get that straight.
Both things to be true. It is a hot morning and a beautiful morning, probably leading into a very warm day.
It looks that way.
And if not, very humid for this time of year, which is not unexpected. I'm here with Xavier is back on the show this week after a busy week last week.
It was last week. Not that this week hasn't been tough, but
this week's been busy too.
It's been tough weeks.
Yeah, Xavier just said everything that Michael Lampros is bringing on today looks fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I am not missing this
once
show.
I saw what was coming, I said, I really need to be there.
Exactly. So he said, I'm not missing this one. A couple of shout outs. Thank you to, we have some people already tuning in. We've just started.
They must know I'm here. Is that what it is?
10 seconds into the show. And already, Robert Boland, thank you for watching this morning. Elizabeth Miller, thank you for watching the show this morning. So already.
Oh, Elizabeth just loves me. I just know that.
I think Elizabeth
every time I come on, she's here.
I think she always tunes in when you're here.
I know.
So I mean, I think she watches just for you. That's what I'm thinking here. So we got a lot in store for you today. As always, of course, we are presented by Emergent Financial Services. Love being here on the I Love CVille Network set. We are powered by our friends at Aqua CVille Hand Car Wash, Castle Hill Cider, Sirius Credit Insurance, our friends Miguel and Jit, the Gym CVille, of course. We just had
you just had
the
them
pleasure
last
to
week.
have
That's
Justin
right.
and Jean on last week. So definitely,
and Jeff was on too.
And of course, we had Jeff from Aqua CVille Hand Car Wash join us last week. GBS Financial Services, and we are always partnering with Forward Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Which hopefully we'll have some events this year, right? Are you working on that?
I am working on it. We are getting ready. We are figuring out when and where to have some Forward
Two
Adelante
key questions,
networking
when
events.
and where, absolutely.
I mean, that's really, we know who will show up, right?
That's
We know
right.
our friends that will show up to Forward Adelante networking events. So the real question is when and where.
That's right.
Do we have those fantastic events? Thank you, Johnny Ornelas, amigo del programa. Watching
Hola,
the show
Johnny.
This morning. Hola, Johnny. A great friend to, of course, to the Latino community here in Charleston. Another great small business owner that we
Great
have
restaurant.
here. Great. I mean,
Yeah.
Guadalajara
And
El Mariachi is just
This is
fantastic.
Yeah.
So love that. We got a lot in store for you today, as we mentioned at the opening, of course. We're going to be joined shortly by Michael Lampros, the owner of Gunther's Gourmet Groceries. Fantastic, I mean, award-winning salsas, dips,
I can't wait.
so much more. So, I mean, I'm very, mixes.
Let's get going. Hurry
So,
up.
I mean, I know, you're like, skip the opening. Let's just go for that. And then a little later in the show, some grant opportunities, some SWAM certification, and some talk about the Secure Act 2 retirement savings that Xavier and I will go over. But I say we just get right to it.
Let's get Michael on here.
Let's get Michael on. He is the owner. He's Michael Lampros. He's the owner of Gunther's Gourmet Groceries. Michael, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us out. It's a pleasure.
That's fantastic to have you here. So, I mean, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about how you came to start Gunther's Gourmet Groceries, and also, I think, great question. I think the audience will love. Who's Gunther?
All right, so Gunther was my last dog. He's a boxer, so we named
Okay.
it. The alliteration was good, Gunther's Gourmet Groceries.
Yep.
It worked out well. And we also do a little bit of fundraising for non-kill animal shelters. We do the Northern Neck Animal Welfare League. We do a few others, Rustic Paws and whatnot.
fantastic.
We don't have Paul Newman type money that we donate, but we do donate, and we do.
Someday, we'll get there.
Hopefully, we'll get there. We do donate a bit and work with them to raise some money. So was that named after my dog? Currently, we're Ludwig von Gunther. Gunther II is the dog that. So we have that. I was a private chef for years, and like a lot of people's story, they bottle things. It's you have a product, you give it to your friends as Christmas and stuff, and somebody's like, "You got to bottle it. You got to
Yeah.
bottle it. You got to bottle it." So my brother, I was going to enter it in a contest, and he says, "Once you enter in a contest, you lose the rights to it. So why don't you bottle it yourself?" He's a lawyer, and so we just started bottling. It was out the side. I was a private chef for Reynolds Metals, Crestar Bank, which is now Truist. It's Country Club of Virginia, and doing it on the side. Then one flavor led to two, led to three, led to five, and currently we have 19 SKUs, and we just had our newest one released 2 days ago.
Wow, 19.
fantastic.
So we do 3 marinades, a hot sauce. We have 12 salsas, a dip, Bloody Mary mix, and we're coming out with a new Bloody Mary mix as well because of sourcing issues. We've had a bend and twist to everything that's happened the last 3 years.
So is that genuine 4 Bloody Marys? I mean, so it's a mix that you mix it with, or is it kind of
Our Bloody Mary mix are the one that we just kind of discontinued or suspended because we can't get fresh crab meat. It had crab meat in it.
Okay.
So all you do is add vodka, pour it in, add a lime, and you're good to go.
That's fantastic.
We don't want to have you have a horseradish and Worcestershire and all that stuff. It should be all in there, all in one, and just pour in. Or you can use it as a soup. We have a lot of nice recipes on our website.
Wow, that's terrific.
That's fantastic. All right.
Bloody Mary soup, that's nice.
I like that. I like the sound of that. And we got Amy Woodford. Thanks for watching the show this morning. Rosalia Cordado, all the way from New York, watching the show this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. So, I mean, tell us a little bit as we open, maybe we'll open a couple of these, especially the new ones. Tell us a little bit about some of the products that we have here today.
So I just grabbed 4. It's our salsa sampler. And so we just grabbed our smoked corn and chipotle pepper, our tropical style mango, our jalapeno, which is our traditional medium salsa, and we have a salsa fresca, which is our mild. And those are the 2 I'm the most proud of because everybody makes a medium, mild, and hot. Our medium won best salsa in Texas. Our mild won best salsa in, I think, Louisiana. So those are your...
And those are
I was gonna say,
major,
those
those
are
are like
right.
big salsa places.
We went to Texas and there was 7 categories, so there's 21 wins, first, second, and third. We won like 17 of them or something like that.
Holy cow.
And we got best salsa, best medium, best mild, all that stuff. And then, but when we were down there, they're like, "You're the guy that won. Let me try it." And they go, "Where are you from?" "I'm Virginia." They're like, that we only eat Texas salsa. They're not really happy. And I'm a Greek guy from the mid-Atlantic making a southwestern food with a company named after a German dog. So it's a little bit of a mess right there, but that's the melting pot of the country, you know. So these are some of our most popular flavors, except for this one. It just came in from the manufacturing plant.
So will soon be one of the most popular flavors.
So this is our response to our crab salsa. We've had to suspend production on that. Crab meat's through the roof, getting it, transporting it, all new government regulations, getting lids. You'll note that we have different kind of lids. We just get whatever fits on top.
Of course.
And the label change is coming now too as well. That's a government regulation. But we took our crab salsa, took the crab out because it's way too expensive. It went up like 500%.
No kidding. I know.
Reformulated our seasoning. And now we have basically a vegetarian crab salsa. It's really good. It's gotten a lot of good reviews. You can add crab meat to this if you want, but we use this on pizzas. We use it in seafood pasta. We have a lot of recipes on our website as well, so check us out. Or just email Chef Mike at Gunther's Gourmet, and we can help you with recipes.
Oh, that's
That's
fantastic.
yeah, that's great. I'm just curious, and you know, we can open one of
Yeah,
these
we
up,
can
and,
open
and
it up.
you know, can I open this up?
Yeah, it's yours.
Is it easy to open? Because I don't want to look like a fool here. Now, all right, beautiful.
There you
Okay,
go.
easy. So I'm just curious. So you always talk about government regulations. So are these regulations, like, do you know about them, or is it all of a sudden you're doing something and somebody knocks on your door, say, you know, you really can't do that?
We know about them, and I also use co-packers, so I don't pack these myself. We have a non-disclosure agreement with several companies throughout the country, and they have our formula. They make it according to our wishes, and they know the rules better than I do. I mean, I know the rules, but they know, like, if you're going to bottle the crab salsa product, that's always the last one at the end of the day, because the cleaning process is once you put protein through the pipes, the whole cleaning process is different. So they have a HACCP plan, they have all that. They know that a lot better than I do, but we do know, a lot of the government regulations now are label change. This is our old label, and this is our new label. We've had to change the way it lays on the thing. Our artwork's in the center. Here it's justified left, and then everything is to the right.
Okay.
Don't ask me. There's a long explanation. But anyways, the government's always changing the nutritional panel. I think about
Okay.
8 or 10 years ago, we had to add trans fats. So we have to do everything all over again. And then this time, I can't even remember, we had to add potassium, iron, and calcium to
Okay.
our nutritional panel.
Okay.
Interesting.
So once that changes, then your whole label has to change. And then, you know, we're a member of the Virginia Finest Program, which is a Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs. It's the government. They help small companies like us and Virginia-based companies. They've changed their logo, so we have to change our logo on the bottle. It's just, but once one thing changes, the whole label
thing
has
has
to
to
change.
change.
And then the dominoes go. So the government's pretty good. Let's say I have 50,000 of these labels, and the deadline was January 1, they'll let me burn through those.
Okay.
As a small company, as a large company, I think they make, if you're over $10 million, they'll make you,
Get a new label.
yeah. So they work with
that's
us, but it's every time they do it, you're just kind of like, I just got it.
Just changed it.
So, but anyway,
Well, I mean, it's good for people to notice. I think sometimes people, particularly when they look at something like this, customers don't often realize what goes into the logistics of distribution of that. You walk into the store, you see a salsa, you don't realize the work that the business owner also puts in on the back end to get that salsa to you and get the label on it, get the nutritional facts right. There's a lot that goes into it.
you have somebody design the artwork for you. Then the government, gets you the nutritional panel. We go through Virginia Tech. Then you have to buy a UPC code. And then you have to get it printed somewhere, and then you have to get it shipped. If you make it yourself, that's one thing. If you use a co-packer like Gunther's does, that's another thing. We just have to get it to the co-packer. Then the co-packer has to make sure the lids come. I can't even see it anymore. Usually we get Arkansas Glass Company. I don't even know where these from. We're just getting glass wherever we can.
Wherever
We're
we
getting
can.
this
That's
wherever
what
we
it's telling
can.
us, yeah.
And, we're just doing what we can do to keep things in a bottle, because you can't really send this with a plastic, with a little saran wrap on
And
top.
you can't just hold it, until maybe a year from now.
Right. This stuff, once it's in the kettle, it's got to go in a
It's gotta
bottle,
go in a bottle, yeah.
be packaged, and then pasteurized and cooled and all that stuff. So there's all
So
that.
let's taste them, but also, so as we do that, I have a question for you. So, I mean, requires a certain amount of creativity. And so you were a chef. I mean, do you constantly think about new ways, new ideas, and how did you come up with these?
Well, we started out with marinades. I had a really good marinade when I was the chef at Reynolds Metals, and then we kind of just drifted into this. Now, when I make a salsa, if you open the lids, we use different tomatoes. We don't just have like our jalapeno and add peaches for our peach sauce or add mangoes. We use different peppers, different onions. It's all about knowing your flavor profiles and what goes well with that. Red onions pair better with certain things. And our fruit sauces, we don't really do a lot of basil and oregano. We do nutmeg, allspice. It gives it a little bit more of a tropical flavor. Our peach salsa has cinnamon in there. And our salsa verde, we use spearmint. So we just try to come up with different flavors. I was in the car one day with my dog, and so we have a peri peri dark cherry. I was singing something stupid to the dog, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a good salsa." So I brought as much fruit that rhymed with peri peri home, and it was peri peri, cranberries. So I got a fruit that rhymed, and that's how I made the thing. It's just kind of whatever strikes me at the moment, or if I'm making something at home that I enjoy, and I come up with something, then I'll kind of put it to the side and work on it. But being a chef, it's always something a little bit different going through your head.
That's fantastic.
No, it really is.
Let's try a couple of these. Let's see which one we got.
This is kind of, go ahead. This is kind of the smoked corn and chipotle peppers one that I've been, now I put this box in the car last night so I didn't forget to bring it. So it is a warm week here in Virginia, so you're going to get a little bit of
Room temperature.
little bit of room
But
temperature.
sometimes I feel like the flavor of things can often be a little better at room temperature than even.
Oh, sure, you can, the flavors, and these are Capital Chips.
Capital Chips are out of Midlothian, Virginia. Jennifer runs this company. She's about 5 years into it. She makes them herself.
Oh, wow.
And they are fantastic chips. She's got a whole process on how she does it, and what kind of oil she does, and all that stuff. So you can look up Capital Chips and get more information from her. These are the bites, which are smaller, and she has larger ones as well.
Oh, these look fantastic. Sea salt, white corn, beautiful.
Got a little bite to it. Right?
Which one are you trying?
The Chesapeake Bay salsa.
Ooh, I'm about
Good.
to try the smoked
good
one.
too.
It's got a little bite to it.
Yeah.
We upped the seafood seasoning because the crab salsa gave you that taste of the bay.
Okay.
You get a little bit of that saline, a little
Right,
bit of that
right.
salt, a little bit of that fish. It's excellent. I mean, I like it a lot. I just went through a jar the other day, and this is brand new for us because every time a product comes in, I open a jar and have it. I really enjoy it. And there are salsas. They should have a bite to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's the key.
And so I think I opened 2 savory ones. We'll get you a fruit one too, just to see the difference. And we're a little bit lackadaisical on the website, on the YouTube channel, but we do have a lot of different ways to use it. Like with the mango, we made a tropical pizza with the mango. That's the mango.
Oh, the crab is.
It's not crab.
It's not crab.
Not crab,
It's the
but
yeah.
it's a Chesapeake Bay, and that's killing me right now when
I know.
I start talking to people. I'm like, we have a crab salsa, and we have a Chesapeake Bay salsa.
Well, you know what? To me, it fools you because maybe because the flavors are ones you associate that you would eat with crab.
Right? Yeah, that's the whole point.
It fools you into thinking like, and I taste it, and I'm like, you imagine the crab being there.
Right.
It's just so complimentary.
Did you try the corn?
I tried the corn. This is great.
And that one,
Absolutely.
you'll get the sweetness of the corn, and you'll taste the black pepper, and about 3 seconds later, you'll get the little bit of burn, the chipotle burn.
Yep.
And you'll notice
You
what,
can taste that smokiness, right?
yeah, the
Which is-
smokiness
yeah.
from the chipotle.
Exactly.
And you'll notice, we only have 4 flavors here, but the burn from each pepper hits your tip of the tongue, the sides, or the back. The
the back.
chipotle hits you in the back, like the peri peri will get you in the sides, the cranberry, the one on the front. So, and we don't use capsaicin. So we use the natural peppers. I like habaneros, but I don't like to die. I want to enjoy my food, not endure my food. So we have enough habanero in there that you can get it. And then 10 seconds, 30 seconds later, it's gone. You're not like, oh my God, I need ice cream.
You're not trying to find drinking
It's not ruining
liquids.
the rest
That's right.
of your
Right.
That's
the
right.
food you eat because your tongue is on fire.
Right, and there, I guess some people like that. I don't. I go to a lot of hot sauce festivals, and I've had, 1.2 million Scoville chocolate. I like chocolate. I don't like chocolate that's going to ruin my day, you
No,
know?
exactly.
So, have you tried the cream? I mean,
So I tried, this one was the, I assume this one
That's
was
the mango.
The mango, yes, and you can
mango.
taste, it's like refreshing,
Delicious.
right? It's just a whole different, flavor in your mouth, it's refreshing, it's,
you have some fresh seafood, grill
Yeah.
that or fry it,
That's
put it in a
right,
taco.
that's right.
Mango taco. I know, and there's all on Facebook, there's a controversy about Hawaiian pizzas, right? Pineapples don't belong on pizzas. Well, then put mangoes on there. But I will tell you, this pineapple orange hot sauce with mango, this is great on a pizza.
Oh, I would
This is really, really good on a pizza, and we'll just get it. You can just eat it on a chip or eat it
Yeah,
on
we'll
a.
put it on. I'll taste it on chip. I'll be adventurous. How pineapple?
Again, we want to enjoy our food, not endure our
Exactly,
food. Now,
yep.
that is thick because we use whole pineapple. We don't use pineapple juice. We use the whole pineapple, so
so
it's going to be a.
wow.
Here's a, just so you don't pour it onto the table.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And which one is this?
That was the.
that's what's
the
in
crab.
Chesapeake Bay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, the crab. There you go.
yeah.
Sorry, people. When I smell it, I can tell you
Well,
what
it's
it is.
amazing, no, that's why you're so
No,
good
sorry,
at
I
it.
wasn't
mean,
putting my nose into your food.
That's what's so, it's funny, yesterday I think we were watching a movie and somebody says, the five senses, right? And obviously the nose is one of the most important senses, because without the nose, you can't taste it.
You can't taste.
You know?
It's funny, Gunther, my dog, he went deaf about 3 years ago, and he was lost. And all of a sudden, his other senses kicked in.
Yeah.
So now when I open the garage door, he's up, he meets me at the door because he can feel the garage door now.
Isn't
So,
amazing? Isn't
my
amazing?
senses, the smell, try that. I really,
That's excellent.
right?
That's fantastic. And again, like you said, the kick of the spicy without that. Oh my goodness! Now I can't taste anything.
Right.
Sense because it just you get the flavor, and it's true. The flavor comes first, and then a little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit of heat. And you can almost taste the mango. You can taste the pineapple. You can
Exactly.
taste, orange in there.
Little
That is
citrusy.
amazing.
That's true. That's
Isn't it?
that's probably one of the best hot sauces that I've ever had. Because I'm not
Great.
usually a hot sauce person, and that was.
But you're
really
right,
good.
that's
Like I would
perfect
put that
because- yeah.
on plenty of things.
Your tacos, your seafood tacos, your Hawaiian pizza and whatnot. Now, through the pandemic, we've had ups and downs with manufacturing plants, with distributors and whatnot. So we kind of took a break on that for a while. It just came out this month as well as the Chesapeake Bay salsa. So
brand new.
it's not in a lot of stores again. It is on our website. Hopefully, if any stores in Charlottesville are listening to us, look up in the Virginia Finest program. You can find all kinds of great producers throughout the state, and hopefully Gunther's is one of them. So we love working with mom and pop shops as opposed to the massive chains. We do a little bit with some bigger chains, but they're really hard for companies like us to deal with. So if you're a mom and pop shop, you want some local regional stuff. I'm on the board of directors for the Virginia Food and Beverage Association as well. So call us, join our group, become a member, and there's a lot of nice networking in there. And things like you were asking before, how do you know what to do? Well, we have, they're called coffee chats. And we get on there and somebody from Virginia Tech will come and talk to us about recall plan. They'll talk to us about how to deal with the COVID issues and how to, your employees coming back from that. And if somebody gets COVID, how to deal with it. They're talking about label design and all that stuff. So the Virginia Food and Beverage Association is a great networking and if you're looking to find other companies, give me a call, email me. Every other year, which we just had in March, there's a Virginia Finest Expo. So under one roof in Richmond, there's like 90 Virginia companies like me that are showcasing their product. Come visit us, come stock your shelves with our product, and we can all work together and
Absolutely.
kind of stay
That's
safe.
the way
local
to-
business
exactly.
supporting
That's what
local
you're looking-
business.
that's what
Because
you're
you go to
looking
your local, because let's face it, you go to your local specialty food stores, right? It's so fantastic to go in there and say, oh, I can't find this
Right.
in the big box store. I'm finding this Virginia company here in a local Virginia store, and it's a fantastic way for them to share each other.
Yeah, like your Foods of All Nations, like your Ivy Provisions,
Virginia Shop down at.
the Virginia Shop, places like that.
Yeah.
Rebecca's. Places like that carry a lot of Virginia products, and we'd like to get, we've been on the shelf, and sometimes we ebb and flow. Those companies like to bring in a new salsa and get it there, and we'd like to get back on a few of those. For us, give me an email, give me a text, give me your zip code, I'll tell you where stores are near you. I can't remember them off the top of my head. If I start to list them,
Somebody else
and I
is gonna
forget one,
That's right.
then they go, what happened to me? Why didn't I get a plug? So I kind of just call me, because I can't remember everywhere we are.
Of course.
We're up and down the East Coast. We ship nationwide. We're on Amazon as well,
Okay.
with our bigger bottles. So, there's a way to get it to you at a reasonable fashion.
Absolutely. You got some more fans. So Olga Morse, all the way from Puerto Rico, says Mando Tatos, an easy sell for her. She's got to check it out in person. Yes, you can, Olga. You can come here. And we've got also thanks Tracy Gibson Boone watching the show today, and Bentley McCrae watching the show this morning. And then looks like we got an audience question here.
These are a lot of my friends from college and high school.
Oh, they're
There you go.
here to support you. They're
Hey,
here
Ann.
to support you.
Hey, Tracy. And
Wow.
Amy's my girlfriend. She's on the phone.
Ah,
There you
fantastic.
go.
Thanks for watching, Amy.
I hope they ask tough questions then. I mean, let's not make it
Kevin
easy.
Higgins has a great question. Thank you for watching today. So he says his question is on the entrepreneurship side. What keeps you motivated to keep pushing forward, especially since it's a small business? Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty. You got the supply chain
Yeah.
stuff. What sort of keeps you motivated to keep pushing forward and growing?
Paying the bills. You got to get them. It's hard to do some days. Some days, I go through phases where I just want to get out there every day. I want to talk to you. I want to show you what I do. I'm very proud of these. I want to show you what I can do, how to do it. Other days, I'm like, I can't talk to anybody. It's tough. It's tough because not only am I the creative one, I also,
sell.
if I got to sell, I've got to do the books in the morning. I've got to answer emails, and no matter how good your product is, like this took best salsa in Texas.
That is fabulous.
Yeah, and this is our medium regular salsa. And somebody will get online and say, this is the worst stuff I've ever had in my life.
It's always gonna be-
it hurts a little bit, but after like 20 years of doing this, I've been doing this for some time, you kind of get used to it, but you're still like, how can it be so bad? How can it be the worst stuff
can it be the worst? That's
that
right.
you've ever had in your life? And you do some food shows, and
And they tell you what's the
you have 13 salsas. They're like, I just don't like anything here. I'm like, I must be
Obviously,
special.
maybe doesn't like salsa period. So.
Right. I mean, I
It's
must
gotta
be somebody
that.
special that I made so many flavors that you can't even tolerate one. So it does get tough sometimes, but you just have to get up and do it. You have to love what you do. More days it's a joy, fewer days it's a job.
Yeah.
But, I like cooking. Last night, Amy, who's online, and her son were at my house last night. And we did a Dungeness crab. We did a tomahawk steak. It was just cooking, and I like to feed. I'm Greek.
Yeah.
And so,
I was going to ask you about that. Go
second
ahead.
generation Greek. If you watch the beginning of our YouTube channel, there's two pictures, one of my dad's dad and one of my mom's dad behind their bars. When they came to the country, we do food.
Yeah.
We feed. And I think everybody here's got some bit of ethnic in
Absolutely.
it, and we all.
Italian, Spanish, yeah.
Right.
Food
And
is definitely
I went to visit my grandmother in Pittsburgh 100 years ago with a buddy of mine from culinary school, and she's like, get him out of here. We don't have enough food for dinner. She had it was my grandmother, my grandfather, my parents, and me, 5 of us, and then Glenn was with us, and she had a dozen stuffed peppers. She had a tray of pasticcio, and she didn't have enough. I mean, the table was packed. And she's like, I don't have enough food to feed this
I
guy.
can tell you how familiar
Yeah,
that
right?
sounds. My Sicilian grandmother would make these big rice balls. They're like this big.
yeah.
And I remember knowing that we were growing kids, we would eat 2 of these things.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, have another. We're like, no, we're full. And she would legit get mad. She'd be like, you're not eating enough. You need to eat a third rice ball. And it's like, there's never enough food.
I mean, when they make rice balls, it's like they're making 100 of them.
Right.
And and there's like 6 people. It's like just in case, somebody
Yep.
comes, or it's just amazing.
Well, if
But
somebody
that's-
comes, you need 150, not 100.
You gotta have some more.
Because my yaya was just like, no, we can't have them over. We don't have enough food. I'm like, you made 4 pounds of pasta for 5 people. And not to mention the peppers in it. So we like to cook. I like to cook. I was a chef for years at Country Club of Virginia. Went after culinary school. I did some training in Napa Valley for the real restaurant company. I worked at Trevina and Mustard's Grill and things of that nature.
Mustard's Grill, I remember that.
Yeah.
My wife and I went there on one of vacations.
Terry
and-
Lynch was the chef back in the day, and Michael Chiarella was at Trevina, and
Good Chiarella, remember?
so I just enjoy. But to get back to the gentleman's question, it does get hard some days. I mean, when you're doing everything from emptying the trash can to creating a salsa to dealing with whatever it happens to be, but again, it's more days it's joy, less days it's a job. Today's a great day.
Yeah.
I got to drive into Charlottesville, see you guys. We're eating, we're on the radio.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Having a great
But
time.
that's it's a typical small business, right? I mean, there's the passion to what you do, but with it, we always talk about, with it comes everything else that has to be done. That if you're working for a company, they're doing it for you, right? You got to make sure the lights are on. You make sure the internet works. You got to keep your books. You have to market. I mean, a lot of people's like, I love what I do, but boy, I got to sell this thing too. I mean,
Right.
So.
And in the meantime, you have to take care of your house. You have to,
Absolutely, exactly.
you have to do all that as well. Your family life too. So this is 7 days a week. I get up every morning, get on my computer, and spend an hour at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then but I can take to this afternoon off, come hang out with you guys, and maybe I'll be working at 9 o'clock tonight again because of this. But that's okay. I have the TV on. I have my dog there. I have family at the house, and it's you can make it work. It's good.
It's kind of the beauty we talked about with so many entrepreneurs on the show. The beauty of entrepreneurship, you have that flexibility that you wouldn't have otherwise. That like you said, you can come and do this. But with that comes also the fact that, like you said, you're never really off the job in a sense. Like there are times you'll have to work 6, 7 o'clock at night. There are days you're gonna have to go in on a Saturday. Like and you see it with the entrepreneurs. There's that combination of passion, but also that really hard work. Which is why small businesses work.
Well, when you're in retail, when you're in food service, Friday and Saturday night as a chef are the busy nights. Then you turn around Sunday morning. Mother's Day was a giant banquet and stuff. So you're used to working holidays and weekends. Now I can take them off and spend time with my family. So I mean, there's like anything. There weighs it out, but it's a lovely way to make a living. It's fun and it's a headache at the same time. But the voices in my head keep me company when on the long days. And if I had everybody in my head working with me, we would be doing a lot better. But we're doing what we can do.
I was curious about one other thing. So, how much does your Creek culture get into your salsas, do you think?
None.
None.
No, we do have a lemon oregano marinade. Our marinades are on suspension right now as well because we can't find a co-packer to make them. They're a little bit difficult to make. I've been talking to 3 co-packers recently. 2 of them just closed. So it's really hard these days to keep. And I'll call my stores. Like, are you ready for a refill on your shelves? They're just not there anymore. A lot of things, it's just constantly opening and closing and whatnot. But we do have a lemon oregano. That was one of the first flavors I made. That is one of my favorite Greek-inspired flavors, was our lemon oregano. But I taught some Greek classes for the University of Richmond near Osher. I love doing that, but it's hard to put a pasticcio in a jar. It's hard to put a baklava in a jar. It's a lot easier with tomatoes here. So I just like food. I'll just make what inspires me. When I was a chef, the menu changed every week at Reynolds, and it could be Asian themed for 3 months, and then 3 weeks, and then Italian themed. It just kind of, or whatever the guys told me. The executives at Reynolds, men and women, they're like, we want to see veal, we want to see chicken, we want to see. I'm like, all right, I'll just make it. Whether I knew how to do it or not. And this was pre-internet, so you just kind of had to figure it out. And so Monday morning would come, and they're like, how's the veal piccata? I'm like, no, to get it tomorrow. I screwed it up today. We'll get it right tomorrow, because I don't know what I'm doing today. Try the ham sandwich today. I know how to make those. But I've cooked tens of thousands of meals, sold millions of jars of stuff. I've made mistakes.
Yeah, we were talking with Jeff from Agresivo last week. He said the same thing. He said, as a small business owner, you're going to make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And the person's like, what do you do from that? What do you do next?
Yeah, you learn from those. And again, if you're a new company and you're listening to this, we're on the board. There's a lot of good people there on the board of the Virginia Food and Beverage. Join it. Call us. learn from our mistakes. Let me tell you what I did wrong so you can just skip that. And maybe, instead of going from A to B to C, you can go from A to D, just skipping my mistakes along the
Yep.
way. And there's a lot of great people on the board. Firehook Crackers, there's, Virginia Diners on there, Farides, a lot of people, from baked goods to jarred product to crackers.
It's awesome that there's so much help out there.
Yeah, and I learned from them. And there's also a bit of, I'm having trouble doing this. I must be a bad business person. Things are going wrong. And then you get somebody that's a bigger company than you goes, I made the same mistake. You're like, all right, I'm not the moron I thought I was. We're all making the same mistake. And it's more of a reflection of the times. It's been a roller coaster ride since the pandemic started.
I would think so, yeah.
No.
Yeah, first the pandemic, and now with
Trying to find things
trying to
to-
find things and having to change your tops and your glass, and I mean, it must be going crazy for that.
I think I put the order in for that new product in February. I just got it last week, or this week.
Wow.
So it took a while, and it wasn't all, some of it was a label problem. We had a problem with the labels. I mean, there's a paper shortage. There's a dock strike in Finland caused the you can't make it up, So anyway, did we try everything? Did we get it all open?
I think I
Yeah,
tried
think
everything.
I think my favorite is probably that one right
The
there.
jalapeno
The
fresca?
jalapeno.
That's
That
our
was awesome.
traditional
Yeah.
salsa.
I mean, they're all, this one is so great. This one, I'm thinking, you know how we make the grilled salmon? Salmon on the grill with the mango salsa on
Yeah,
top.
that would be great.
Almost like a glaze would be, oh.
Even a swordfish, grilled
Swordfish.
Yeah, no doubt
Absolutely.
about it. These are all
So we took our peach salsa and we took a little bit of the liquid out. We strained it through a tea strainer and took that liquid and mixed it with AR's Hot Honey, who is another local company. And then we glazed a pork loin with it and cooked it.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
we're using AR's and then our product. And then when you're done, you take what's in that strainer and you put it on top as a chutney. It's fat-free, it's low sodium, so you're not using a heavy sauce or anything, but you can just take parts of that and glaze your salmon with it with like a little bit of a hot honey.
Oh,
And then put
The rest is a chutney.
put the chutney on top.
Oh, that's genius. That's genius.
You gotta remember
hold on. You got a Amazon sale. Olga Morris from Puerto Rico says she's gonna go to Amazon. She's going to Amazon now.
I think we have some of our crab salsa on Amazon, and we have our mango, and we're selling those in big 37-ounce bottles because that makes it cost effective.
Yeah.
Yep.
And shipping is lighter with plastic. So we don't have everything on Amazon, but the Gunther's Gourmet website does sell everything.
Oh, awesome.
Look us up there. And if there's any questions, I get up at 5, 6 in the morning. I answer all the questions first thing. And if I don't answer the phone, nobody's answered the phone because the dog doesn't have a thumb. It's just going to be me, and he can't pick up the cell phone. And so, you're going to get
5 o'clock in the morning phone calls. Wow.
No, let's wait till 8, okay? But on the phone calls,
Audience, wait till late.
but on the text and the emails and stuff, I'll return those early in the morning. But you can't get closer than to a lot of these Virginia companies. You're talking to the creator of Capital Chips when you call Jennifer. You're talking to me, AR's Honey. You're talking to Ames. You're talking to the people that are right there doing it. And part of the problem with calling there is we won't shut up. We'll talk about our stuff. And you're like, I got to go. It's been 3 hours.
I think I got it now.
Yeah, right? Yeah, okay. I just wanted the jar of sauce, and you told me about your family history. Yeah. So,
Well, it's what we say about our business, right? You call us, right? And you're going to get Alex, or you're going to get me, or you're
Right.
going to get one of my
Nick or
sons.
Michael, yep.
Yeah, Nick or Michael. It's just that's what you get. You call the companies and you get somebody. Wait a minute, I got to get you to the right department. You get the department. You get and it just takes like 20 minutes just to get to a person. And it's like,
yeah, right. You have 32 buttons to push.
yeah, exactly.
And then they disconnect you.
Exactly. This has been fantastic. Michael, before we let you go, so best place for people to find you, I guess the website as a start.
Go to the website, text me, or I prefer emails over the text because you get kind of knocked down in texting. But text me what you're looking for, your zip code, and I'll try to find a store close to you.
And the website is super easy, www.gunthersgourmet.com.
Right.
You don't even need the apostrophe, just gunthersgourmet.com.
Gunther'sGourmet.com. Look us up. hopefully our YouTube channel will be up and running soon, where you can get more recipe ideas. That pork loin is on there. You can watch
Wow.
that.
Oh,
So
That's a great idea. That is a fantastic idea.
And I try to cross-utilize with other people. I use Capital Chips on our Mexican one, or our Southwestern food. I use AR's Hot Honey on some. And even friends from out of state, like Todd's Dirt, I use his seasoning. So I try to cross-utilize using Gunther's and other people, because it just opens it up.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
that web, and
Absolutely.
we just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
yeah, combining the expertise of so many great people.
No, and being able to go on YouTube and watch them, cook something and hear some recipes, I mean, that's great, right? Because you just say, wow, I never thought of that. Let me try that.
Right, and the University of Richmond has an OSHA program. It's for seniors, and not like sophomore, junior, seniors, for people above 50, 55. Me as well. They have a lot of nice classes, and there's a few cooking ones, and I'm one of the cooking ones, but they have a myriad classes offered there. But if you can find a good cooking class, right now they're doing them by Zoom, which the biggest complaint is I can't smell, I can't taste, I can't do anything.
Right, yeah.
But we seem to be getting very good reviews from our classes that I teach on there. So look us up. We're easy to do with, and
Absolutely.
I can't thank you guys enough. I've had a
No,
really
thank
good
you.
time.
This
you
has
so
been
much for
so
coming on.
enjoyable.
It's been such a
Absolutely.
pleasure. Such a
Absolutely.
joy.
Yeah.
If you have me on again, we'll bring 4 different salsas.
There we go.
So that's
What are you
my-
doing next week again?
Well, that'll get you back that's my tease to get me back. I didn't bring everything here today, so
There
you
you
got to
go.
bring me back to try something
Nicholas,
That's a
if
small
different.
you're-
businessman.
Nicholas, if you're watching, all right, start the scheduling for the next one.
Right? So we're here for you if you need us. I do appreciate
It's going
what
to be
you
a
guys
food
do.
fight. I said, who comes? That's
I
what's
know,
gonna happen.
that's what'll happen. That'll be a battle for who gets to host that show.
I'm leaving all this stuff here for you guys.
Thank you
The
so much.
chips, the salsas, the hot sauce, do what you will with it.
Thank you.
Share it and get the word out, and I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
We'll
We
do.
will.
Nick has already, in fact, if you're watching on the I Love Seaville feed or on my personal feed, Nick has actually put the Dunder's Gourmet link into the comments. So you can literally just click on it and go right there.
There you go.
So thank you so much, Michael. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you, Michael. This has been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining
My
us.
pleasure.
A
Appreciate
thrill.
it.
Alrighty, so we'll do our little swap-a-roo here.
Absolutely.
Do we
This
need
is-
to
this
clean
is-
this
this
up?
is-
No, you're good.
we're
You're good.
Yeah,
You're
no,
good. You
just in
can-
case I get hungry.
You
while
can
I'm
stay
eating.
and watch if you got work to do. And
I got work to do if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
no,
I
go.
got a senior dog at my house that can't be left for more than 4 hours.
Go for it. You got it.
Am
So
I outta
it's-
here?
Yep, you're
Thank
good.
you, Michael.
You're good. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank
Been
you.
an absolute pleasure.
We'll see you again
I
soon.
don't really plan. I just, like I said.
There you
I
go.
started leaning too far back.
No, you're good. You're good. It's,
You're a natural, don't
You're a
worry.
natural. You're a
We're
natural.
good. Yeah.
I told you I don't
We're
like
set.
messes.
I know that. I'll get it later.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll do.
You too.
We'll do. Alrighty, so,
Can I just let myself out?
yep, you
Absolutely.
absolutely can. And so
Can I
we'll,
go watch it on, can I go watch it now on my?
yes, you can. You can watch us from there. Fantastic. Thanks. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. And so, that was fantastic.
That really was. That
It
really
was so
was.
much fun. So much fun.
He's a great guy. He's funny. He's,
a
funny.
fun man, and really passionate, just passionate
sure.
about,
That's-
what
yeah.
he does, which is one of my favorite things about the entrepreneurs we talk to on Today Mañana.
That's the beauty of this, yeah. I mean, that's what's the most enjoyable. Just watch people and listen to them, and you can see the passion of what they create. And then, of course, they sit back and say, but I also have to do this and this.
Of course, but it's important that people see the hard work.
Yes.
In other words, when you see the price of something, like you go to a store and you know the thing, or you go to a restaurant and you have the food, or you go to a finance person and say, here's what this costs. Remember that the price there, like they're not just doing that work of the service to you or the product that they're giving to you. They're doing all this work behind the scenes
Sure.
to even get to the point that jar is reaching you.
Exactly.
They're doing so much work beyond what you say,
And in today's
You know,
world, it
the
seems like
ingredients
it's
that go
become much
into
more
it.
complicated, right?
It's become
Because all of a
much more
sudden you order
complex.
bottles and they don't come, and then you have to find somebody else, and you go somebody else, and it's like we don't make them anymore, and now you're spending 2-3 days just trying to get your order filled. And then when you think you're going to get it next week, it's like, well, no, we're talking about 6 months from now. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you're scurrying around trying to figure out how do you get this product on somebody's table quickly, right, and affordable.
exactly.
No.
No, there's so much that goes into it that really just makes you appreciate what
Yeah.
entrepreneurs
Yes,
do,
you do.
on a daily basis. And Jennifer Davidson, thanks for watching the show today. Says great job, Mike. He did do a fantastic job.
He did.
To be sure.
He's fantastic.
You know, and speaking of, entrepreneurs and just valuing them, we have some really
No,
fantastic news.
That's important. I want you to get to that. 'Cause that's-
that we want to
yeah.
talk about for entrepreneurs, and in particular, so we've got our, there's a minority enterprise grant opportunity.
Okay.
That is coming out. It's a combination of partnership between United Way of Greater Charlottesville
That's right.
and Minority Business Alliance for Charlottesville Regional Chamber of Commerce. And I mean, you and I have the pleasure, you get the privilege of being on the
Absolutely.
United Way
And
board.
I was on a board meeting last week. No, this week.
Just this week.
Just this week.
This week.
It feels like it's already a long time
I know.
ago. And so I remember hearing about that. That's that's
So
great.
you get the
They do
privilege
great.
of being on that board, and I had the privilege of being treasurer, serving as treasurer for Minority Business Alliance, so it's a huge opportunity. So applications, so what these are, they are going to be 10 $5,000 grants.
Okay.
Right? And any minority-owned business can apply for this grant. It is a super easy process. You're talking about, all you gotta do is your place of business has to be in the greater Charlottesville area. So that's not just Charlottesville city limits. You're talking Albemarle County, Greene County, Louisa County, Orange
okay.
County, Fluvanna County, right? So any of these, you've got the rest of this month to apply, because applications
It's only
have to be
15 days,
received-
though.
So 15 days,
Yeah,
15
yeah.
days. So I mean, don't wait too
don't
long.
wait, yeah.
Because applications have to be received by 12 noon on July 1st.
Okay.
Very easy to get to. It's an online application, so you don't even have to print out paper and fill it out. If you need a paper application, you need some help, you can call United Way. They're happy to help out and sort of walk you through the process. But very easy. There's an online application. Literally, and we'll put this into the link here, cvillechamber.com/MBA.
Okay.
Minority Business Alliance, cvillechamber/MBA. It's the first thing right there. There's a button that says details and apply.
Okay.
Click it, poof.
Boom.
You got all the details, you got everything you'll need to provide. You've got the online application you fill out.
Are there any
Check the
specific
box.
requirements? I mean, I mean, can they like say, I want this because I want to go on vacation, or there has to
No,
be
I mean, you
some-
gotta use it, it's
Okay.
for a business. So you, basically, your eligibility, you gotta be, obviously, some type of business, sole proprietorship, LLC. You gotta be minority owned.
Okay.
Right, so 51% minority owned. You have to have been in business for 12 months. So, you've got a little bit of established there. For small businesses, obviously, so you gotta have net income less than $100,000. You can make revenues, so we're not penalizing you. You're not getting penalized because
Okay.
you make as long as your net income, your profit
It's less than 100.
is less than 100,000, you're eligible. This is
Okay.
sort of to help you grow, get to that next
So
step.
and that's the key. This is kind of to help you get to the next level, maybe help you grow,
Exactly.
or in this case, maybe in this environment, which we're obviously because in inflation, some people are struggling, maybe to keep you afloat until things get better.
Yep, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And authorized to, you can use it if you need new equipment, welding equipment, computer hardware, point of sale software,
Okay.
tools, right? Operating expenses, website development. You need to do some marketing. You need to make a marketing plan, an ad campaign. You
Okay.
can use it for that. Inventory. If you said, I want to get these new products, but you know what I mean? I don't yet have enough coming on a monthly basis to go and get this new inventory, but I think this will really sell well. You can use the grant to get that new inventory. Start selling some new things.
Do you know how these grants? I mean, so what if they get like 100 people? How do they select?
So
that?
there will be a review process where
Review,
they'll
okay.
sort of go through, okay, combination of need, what's the proposed project? So you will be asked to say, hey, what's your idea
Okay.
for the funds? It'll be reviewed. They'll say, take a look. Okay, this idea looks really promising, and so forth. So it'll be taken a look at there, and just basically all you need is proof that you're a business, a financial statement for your calendar year, so your basic QuickBooks profit and loss.
Okay.
Right there.
For this calendar year?
For this
for last year?
fiscal year. You're not I believe this year or last year.
Okay.
Right? This year or last year's federal tax return.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. That's probably easier
Right.
for some businesses.
Proposal for your project. Here's I'm going to use this $5,000. I'm going to use $3,000 of this $5,000 for a new employee. I'm going to use $2,000 for new inventory. Here's what I'm going to do with the funds. And then you just have to. And then of course you are required to join Minority Business Alliance. But there's so much value in that.
Sure.
I mean, you're basically trading and that includes Chamber of Commerce membership. So you're basically trading you only have to apply. You only have to join MBA if you receive the funds. So you're basically trading a $240 membership of the Chamber of Commerce under Minority Business Alliance and access to all the great resources there
Sure.
for a $5,000 grant.
Exactly.
So it's,
Yeah, no, it's worth it.
It's a worth it
Absolutely.
trade.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's a huge opportunity. We would really encourage people to take advantage of it. And CVilleChamber.com/MBA. Super easy to
And
find.
listen, even just joining the chamber sometime is worth it, because even like Michael said, right, the idea sometimes is networking. So he's part of a group that help each other, and that's what MBA does.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Minority Business is all about.
Exactly.
It's people coming together to convene, support, promote fellow minority business enterprises.
Exactly.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, we have monthly meetings, great way to just, there's, Let's Connect socials, ways to meet other people that
Meet
maybe
other
are going
people
through
that-
similar challenges, that
Yeah.
went through those challenges, like Michael said, and say, here's how you can avoid this mistake I made.
That's right, exactly, yeah.
So it's just a fantastic opportunity. Another one coming down the pipeline, SWAM certification. We've talked about this a couple times. If
Yeah.
you are a small woman or minority-owned business, there are state institutions, universities, public institutions
particular, public
that want to do business with you, right? But need you so that they can count it as working with a small women or minority-owned business. They need you to be SWAM certified.
That's right.
And I think you'll probably see a little bit on the screen. I think we'll show this on the screen, this ad, that there is, Judah's
on it.
Judah's on top of it. That SWAM certification is going to be a class offered by the Central Virginia Small Business Development Center.
Okay.
Right, hosted by CIC. So basically, they'll walk you through the process of how you get SWAM certified. Right, so as small women or minority owned. And so basically, they'll walk you through this June 29th from 10 to 11:30 a.m.
Okay,
Right, so really easy to find. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it at the CVSBDC website. So I believe that I'm going to type this baby right in here just to make sure I've got.
so this is online?
Yes, this is a webinar.
Okay,
you
so
can do it
webinar,
from
so
the
you
comfort of your
can do it
office.
from anywhere you want,
Yep.
that's right.
Right, and so you can really.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. I mean, being SWAM certified is very, very important, right?
Yep.
Especially if you're a small company, because as you said, there are many public entities, right? They want to do business with a minority-owned business, women or minority-owned business, but you have to be certified. If you're not certified, you can't say, I'm a woman, and it's like, that's nice, but,
I
we need
this in
somebody to
writing.
certify
I need this in writing.
that your
Someone to certify
business
that,
is owned
also
by
that
you.
you're the 51% owner.
Exactly.
Of the company. So it's a really fantastic class. We took one of these classes back in the day, helped
That's
us
right.
get SWAM
Yeah.
certified. So really would encourage you. It's presented by Minority Business Alliance, by Virginia Department of Small Business Supplier Diversity, by Central Virginia Small Business Development Center. Really easy to find on Facebook. Also, cvsbdc.org. So literally, Central Virginia Small
Did you say
Business
that again?
Development Center, cvsbdc.org. We'll put a comment in the link right there. Also, you can easily, if you know CIC, go to cicville.org. From there, you can get to Central Virginia Small Business Development Center. So you can get
And if you go to
connected.
Today and Mañana, can you find these
If you
things?
go to Today Mañana, you can also find it.
There you
So
are.
not difficult to
That's
find.
easier.
We will
Today
put a
and Mañana.
link.
So simple.
We'll put a link in the comment section so you can sign up for this webinar. Again, June 29th, 10 to 11:30 a.m. You can do it from the comfort of your office, comfort of your home, and learn about.
So a lot happening in June. I mean, over
A
the next
lot
15
happening.
days, you got to go out and fill out that questionnaire or whatever it may be, right? The
The application.
and then June 29th,
June
go
29th.
get certified.
SWAM certification. Another thing
Which is easy, right? I mean, because once they receive that, then of course I know you have to wait.
you have to wait a little bit from
yeah,
the
but-
state, but once it's been received,
Boom, you're done.
You're set.
For a
You're
number of
set.
years.
I believe it's 3 to 5 years
Yeah.
that can last, that certification. So it's not something you have to worry about every year. You got to
Every single
monitor, but you don't have to worry about it every year. And then, certainly not least, Chamber of Commerce, if you're interested in sort of taking that next step of leadership, the Greater Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce is having a Leaders Lab, a 9-month program for current and emerging leaders. So this helps you build some leadership skills, helping do a lot of what Michael just talked about, that collaborative community problem solving. So saying, all right, how do we work together? In his case, how do we work together as members of the agricultural food service industry here in Virginia to make sure we all grow? So some of those skills you can learn at the Leaders Lab of Greater Charlottesville. So that, again, same date, you can apply by July 1st. If you need, there is assistance for you if you're saying, okay, this the cost of this program is a little high for me. You can work with them for scholarship opportunities there. So it's a 9-week program, so you're talking like individual leadership plans for your business or for your nonprofit, right? Learning about community issues that you can be connected with. Okay, how do we all grow together on this one? So just a huge opportunity. You can find this one also at the Charlottesville Chamber's website. So it's instead of CVilleChamber.com/MBA, CVilleChamber.com/LeadersLab-apply.
Okay.
So it's super easy to find, super easy to apply to. It starts in September of this year.
Okay.
So you've got some time to sort of plan out.
We'll
right,
have
how
to
do I
remind
wanna-
people about this one again, I'm sure.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
We're here again next week. We'll keep reminding you about these opportunities until July
Yes,
1st,
yes.
which is when the deadline is, but really would encourage you. There's just so much going on at the Charlottesville Regional Chamber of Commerce that we would really encourage you to check out, be connected with, learn about other small businesses, join the Chamber of Commerce, connect with CIC and the Central Virginia Small Business Development Center. Just so much going on in ways that you can grow as a small business in the community.
So important, so important.
Such a
Fantastic.
key-
I'm
very
happy
important.
that all this is happening here locally.
Exactly. It's just, you love to see the support for really a backbone of our economy. And I think that Kevin Higgins said it really well on the comment today. He said, it's small business that is going to get us out of the challenges that we're facing.
I
That
agree
really is. It's
100%,
the backbone of the American economy.
Yeah.
And in tough times, it's going to be the small business community that really gets out.
The hope is that the small business itself isn't handicapped, right? By the larger businesses when you're
Exactly.
trying
Which is why
do
you'd love to
something.
see opportunities like this of community
Yes.
partners saying,
Exactly.
we value small business, and these are really huge opportunities for small business to grow and succeed. That's what that, and speaking of things that I think small business owners need to be aware of, because we talk a lot about, as a small business owner, making sure you're also, taking some of that capital you're accruing, right, as a small business owner, and making sure your retirement is in good shape. And there are some changes coming down the pipeline on that as well that I know we wanted to
No,
talk a little bit
you
about
talk about
today.
that all the time, right? Where when you're young and you start a business, and it doesn't mean that you start a business when you're young. The issue is when you're either a young company or you're young itself, right? Your capital is you. You are the capital of the company. You're the one that's producing, right? Which is great. But as time passes, your capital begins to diminish, right? And so it's great to be able to say at the peak, when you're saying things are now going well, you need to take some of that capital, which means some of those earnings, and begin to
Put it
transfer
into-
that
Yep.
into a retirement so that when you're ready, when your personal capital begins to decline, or you're ready to step
You're
aside,
ready to step aside,
right?
ready to do something
you now
else.
have some genuine capital there for you to take,
Exactly.
the
Because
rest
especially
of the
because you work so hard to grow your business, right? You
Right.
never want to be in a situation where when it's time to retire, you're forced to sell your business when you don't want to, because that's the only way you can fund your retirement.
Right.
You want the freedom to be able to say, no, if I want to keep this business, or I want to wait to sell this business till I find someone who shares my passion and vision, but I want to, take a step back, begin
and
to
you want to, or
retire.
you want to work part-time, but
You
you
only
need,
wanna
means you
work
need somebody to
part-time.
help you, right?
Exactly. You're still in control of your business because you have that financial diversification to
Exactly.
say, my retirement's funded. I have a retirement account, I have an IRA, I have a 401k, right? I'm in good shape. I'm not forced to sell my business. I get to decide when I sell my business, how I sell my business, to whom I sell my business, or if I want to keep it and let it work while I take a step back part-time and just sort of continue in that basis. There's just you want that flexibility, because you don't want to be put in a scenario where you sit there and say, I never saved for retirement, I have no choice but to,
Right.
put this small business that I love for sale.
And so something that's of interest, right? So in other words, in the Secure Act 2, they've really, I guess,
So this
thought
is
about.
passed, I think, one part of Congress, and we're
That's right.
waiting.
The House has passed the House, and
Passed
now
the
waiting
House.
for the Senate, right? And and I think they should have gone further. However, at least one step forward. But one of the things you and I see all the time is that people come, they're 55 years old or 52 or whatever, say, hey, can you help me now? I'm ready to save for retirement. And you're saying, wow, at 55 to start saving for retirement is a challenge, right? But you think about it, it's like, maybe they had a small business, they had children, they had to, send their children to
For a lot of
college or
people,
whatever.
until that age, you didn't really
That's
have
right.
the funds to save.
Exactly. You don't have the funds to save because you're using every penny, right, in order to live life as the way you should live life, right? And to pay for expenses and everything else. And so now you get to a point where it's like, okay, my kids are grown up, they have their own life, and now I have excess money that I need to save for retirement. The problem is that there's only so much that you can save.
You're only allowed to save a certain amount tax-free each year.
Tax-free, and it's the tax-free accounts that really grow, right? Because
Because otherwise, if you save
there's
in
a drag if
exactly.
it.
Your savings are really diminished if you put them in an account doesn't
right.
grow tax-free.
I mean, it doesn't mean you shouldn't, but the point is, if you can put more money into a tax-free account, it's great. So in the Secure Act 2, what they've thought about that, right? So they have, and even today, right? So if you're 50 and over, there's catch-up clause. That means that instead of $6,000 into your IRA, you can put $7,000. So it's an additional $1,000, right? So they're thinking of doing an additional $10,000, right? And again, the numbers aren't out completely. However,
Well, it does. The word is it does have bipartisan support.
yes,
Up there, so it's both
the issue I
parties seem
have
to
is that it
finally-
starts at 62. It's like, why didn't you make it at 50? And here's two things, right? So they're thinking, okay, you can put more money into a non-taxable account, retirement account, right? However, they're thinking also that instead of a traditional type of IRA, it's going to be only a Roth, right? Because the government want their tax up front, right? So I'm saying to myself, well, if that's the case, why not start at 55, right? Where people are finally saying, yes, I need to start saving, and I need to start saving quickly. By the time you're 62, if you're thinking retiring at 66, there's just not a lot of catch-up there, right? So the next thing that they did, however, what good this is, I'm not 100% sure, is that they're allowing you, when you reach 72 years old in your traditional IRA, there's a required minimum distribution. You're forced to take some money out.
So you have to pay taxes.
So you have to pay taxes, right? Used to be 70. They moved it to 72 years old with the Secure Act, the first one. The Secure Act 2 is trying to push that out even further so that basically by the year 2033, it'll be 75 years old, right? So you don't have to take money until you're 75.
I mean, it's somewhat helpful in the sense of if you weren't able to save all your money in a retirement account, and you've got some savings in an IRA that's drawing tax-free, and some savings in a taxable account because you hit 755,
Exactly.
you couldn't put
Exactly.
all the money you
Yeah.
wanted to in an IRA. At least now you can take money out of your
regular
account
Right.
first without being forced to take money out of the account where it's drawing tax-free.
Exactly.
So I can see how that could help some people, because you would be that you're at 72, you're like, I'm still using savings that I have that are not in my IRA. It stinks to have to take money out of my IRA where it's drawing tax-free.
That's right, yeah.
Right, so you
When
can
I don't
use
have
your
to.
other savings first, and then you not have to use your IRA until a little later or until you need to.
That's right, yeah. The point is always going to be, make sure you touch base with your financial advisor, because there are times where you may want to start taking it earlier, right?
Exactly, of course.
Because there are tax consequences as to how much you take, and is that pushing you to a higher tax bracket? So one has to be cognizant of the fact that there are, it's based on a formula, and those formulas are going to change. And so if you're taking a 75, it's going to be a much larger amount than if you took it when you were 72. So again, you got to do the numbers to make sure it's right. One thing I would highly recommend people to think about, and because I think most people are starting to recognize that a Roth IRA is a fabulous thing to have, because you never ever have to touch that, or you can touch it at the point whenever you want it,
There's
right?
no required
There's
distribution
no
from a
required
Roth
minimum
IRA.
distribution. So I know that there's many people say, gee, I really want to take my traditional IRA and convert it to a Roth. And the answer is, yes, that's a great idea. Obviously,
But
talk
just
to your
make
tax
sure what it
person.
does to your taxes
That's
this
right.
year.
Talk to your tax person, talk to your financial advisor. However, given that the market is down so much, right, there may be, a silver lining, meaning that, okay, your IRA is down 20% or 25% or whatever it may be. So that means that maybe you can now take some money out of there, put it into a Roth,
It's a
right?
smaller
They're both
amount.
going to grow the same. I mean, whether you keep it in your IRA or put it into a Roth, and the
both grows
investments are the
tax-free.
same, They both go tax-free, and they both, have the same growth if you put it into the same investment. So it's not like one gets less than the other. But it does give you the opportunity now saying, okay, I can now take maybe 20,000 out or 40,000 out or whatever it may be, put it into the Roth. I'm in that tax bracket that it won't impact me very much this year.
But in the
future, I don't have to worry about it. So again, go to a financial advisor, go to your tax person,
These
say,
are
what do
really
you think?
important times, I think, to make sure that you have a financial professional that
Yes.
you're talking to. Because there are so many changes coming down the pipeline, right? First off, it's a tumultuous market time, right? Stocks struggling, bonds are struggling. So it's really important to figure out what investments you actually have and to make sure you're diversified and you're in an appropriate number of investments. This is no longer the time to just say, well, just stick everything in an S&P 500 fund and not look at it, because
Right.
there's a lot of different moving pieces in the markets during these times, right? So for that reason. Second, a lot of retirement changes. You had the Secure Act, which I think a lot of people still
That's right.
don't know themselves what happened with the Secure Act. Then you had the Secure Act. You have the Secure Act 2 coming. There's just so many rules now, so many different types of retirement accounts.
Opportunities,
that,
rules.
That have huge opportunities
Right.
there, especially as a small business owner. You have even more types
Absolutely.
of retirement accounts you can access. There's so many opportunities out there that you do not want to miss out, because and we know, like, as an average small business owner, average person, you're doing your job, you're taking care of your family, you don't have time to be sitting there and studying every Secure Act that comes out of Congress, to read the fine print and say, oh yeah, I can turn this IRA into a Roth, I can put this money here and this much here. You don't have time to figure all this out.
Everything, even trying to figure out a small business, should I have a SEP, should I have a simple, should I have a self-directed 401k? What's the best thing
Exactly.
for me? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that decision, so it's good to talk to somebody
Just
that
talk to
has
someone,
the knowledge,
and
you
a
know,
lot,
the experience.
We don't charge for an initial consultation.
No.
Right, so there's ways to talk to financial advisors without fearing like, oh my goodness, if I don't talk to Alex and Xavier, they're gonna charge me like $1,000 just for 1 hour. So, no, we understand how this works. We understand that you may have some initial questions. You come in, you talk to us for an hour and a half, right? See what advice we might have for you. And then you decide if you want to pursue the relationship
Exactly.
further. If
Yeah.
we can help. If we can't help you, we're going to say you're in great shape.
Okay.
Congratulations,
Keep going.
good luck. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.
That's right.
And if we can help you, we'll let you know. And so it's an important time to really just sit down with your financial professionals and make sure that you know where you are and you know what's coming down the pipeline.
Yes.
So.
And there's more, but we'll since it's not out yet, we'll talk about it another show.
Of course, yeah. No, we will continue to keep you updated.
Absolutely.
On what happens in both the finance world and in our local economy here in Charlottesville. And on that vein, I'll just thank you, another Elizabeth Cromwell from the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for watching the show this morning and for sharing some links so you can see on the I Love Seville group, if you're watching, Elizabeth Cromwell, president of the Chamber of Commerce, has shared some of the links where you can get the grant. You can literally click, and where you can apply for Leaders Lab. So you can just literally go there and just click
Beautiful.
the button instead of having to remember the URL. So thank you for that. Thank you, Adriana Haynes, for watching us this morning. Next week, another fantastic local business desk. We're going to be joined by Jess Sifazari.
Sifazari. Mhm.
Jess Sifazari from Painted Orange is going to join us.
Oh, interesting.
So another local business that will be coming on the show, and we'll be excited to talk to. Just always love being on here
Oh, definitely.
with you. Today was a lot of fun as well.
It really was.
It was a classic. Just really
It was
appreciate
great
Michael
to talk to
coming on and
Michael
sharing.
and share all this terrific salsa.
Mm-hmm.
It really is very good, I have to admit.
Exactly. So just thank you, everyone. Our guest, our audience member, Elizabeth Miller, says she does love Xavier.
See? I know
So
it.
there
I
we
just
go.
know it.
I knew it. It couldn't be me. It had to be Xavier. Was the reason why she was watching this morning. So just thank you, everyone who watched the show, for your great comments. Thanks for your fantastic questions. Thank you, Kevin Higgins, for a fantastic question and
Yes.
comment. Today, so just really appreciate the wonderful audience we have with just the way they engage with us and are really interested in supporting local business.
They really are.
So
And
appreciate
it's
all
a
of you.
Great audience.
Appreciate being here on the I Love Seville Network set. Appreciate Judah behind the camera, making sure
As
that
always.
everything works. As always, making you and I look
I'm just
good.
surprised he didn't come over and just grab some chips and salsa where he was working.
The hand of God
That's right.
coming in and
That's
saying,
right.
"Oh, look, you wanted a chip." But we'll share them with him as always. Just really appreciate him behind the camera. Love being here on the I Love Seville Network set. Just also thank you to always, of course, Emergent Financial Services, which is our presenter here, Xavier and myself. And always appreciate our partners in Aqua Seville Hand Car Wash, the Gym Seville, Serious Credit Insurance, Castle Hill Cider, GBS Financial Services, and Forward Adelante the Premier Latino Networking Group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So thank you all so much for joining us this week. We're excited and look forward to seeing you next Thursday. But until that time, as we always say, hasta mañana.